Welcome, surf fans, to the post-show for the Abu Dhabi Longboard Classic presented by Modon on finals day. It has been spectacular. 3 days of brilliant action, crowning champions in the floodlights here in the basin at Surf Abu Dhabi. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sam Bleakley, joined by Carla Rowland Zamora from Malibu and the Australian, the waxhead, Matt Chinaski. Matt, what a great way to round things off.
Wow. I mean, it's this form of surfing. It's so unique. It's so different to big wave and shortboard. But to see the women and the men combined with style, flow and grace on this artificial wave, it's just phenomenal. History in the making.
And Carla, a special opportunity to be here. How important has it been for you to see the women shine in the way they have done for these past 3 days?
They're my queens, and it's so good to be here. I'm so grateful to be sharing this set with you guys and just witness everything that it is here, this historical moment.
We kicked off with the women's quarterfinals, and then we shifted into those men's semis, women's semis, and then we crowned those champions. But there was just so much groundwork as well. There was the hospitality, there was the incredible wave facility here at Surf Abu Dhabi, and of course Modon, our supporting sponsor, and all of the incredible development they have done to put Hudaria Island on the map.
I mean, for surfers, we're so used to this natural amphitheater. We're so used to the elements and dealing with the things that are so often out of our control. But as purists, all three of us, and Kaipo and AJ as well, I think we can all attest the smile on our faces and the competitors has been unmatched. It's a truly unique experience, and we're all here for it.
Well, let's look at the bracket for the women's, which we kicked off with those quarterfinals. It was pretty impressive, shifting through to those semis and those finals, but it really started out with a fantastic exchange between Honolulu Bloomfield and Mason Schremer. Honolulu took the win, and she met Zoe Grospiron in that first semi. On the other side of the draw, Elise Lemoigne beat Rachel Tilley, and Natsumi Teoka lost out to Khalees Kelly-Opaha, and it was an amazing second semi between Elise Lemoigne and Khalees Kelly-Opaha. But then moving into the final, Carla, it was Elise in that all-French affair who took the edge.
Such an exciting semifinal that we got to witness. Here we have some playback. This is Elise on her left here, getting some tip time and really just showing the judges everything that she's got. Really exciting surfing.
And what do you think, Matt, was the edge that Elise had today that crowned her the champion?
Just the consistency, the sheer determination and consistency. She was one of the few people who didn't fall. She fell at this last left-hander, but besides that, she's just nailed mid to high-range scores the whole event.
And what she was, as well as the nose riding, she was very strong, Carla, through those speed sections, opting at times for a wider stance through that speed section, but she rarely fell.
Yes, she did. She made it stick, just like she stuck that 10 there, and it sticks a second 10. Really just showing the judges that she is in it to win it and ready to compete in El Salvador.
And that hood ornament sole arch, I mean, trademark Elise. On the Luffy-built boards, Luffy will be tuning in, Matt, from Portugal. He'll be happy to see the result.
Yeah, absolutely. And she really had a good mixture of the rail carves and the nose rides. But the tube ride, eluding most of the women, that was really surprising. That was a card that was ready to be pulled, and no one did it.
Carla, talk about the lines the women were taking, opting more for rail work and tube riding.
Yeah, I think in general, the women don't tend to have that gusto when it comes to barrel riding. We tend to approach things perhaps a little more dainty, and perhaps barrel dodging tends to be a female thing. But now we're in a position where we're at a wave where we know the barrel is available, so now they need to really start putting themselves in it.
And it was an all-French affair for the women's final, with Alice Lemoigne taking the win with a 9.43 and a 7.83. Zoe Grospiron with that 8.5 and that 7.80. A special opportunity for those two friends, Matt, to come up together.
Yeah, first time in a final, and it was Zoe's first final. She had a great run in the 2021 Malibu event where she beat Soleil Erico in the quarterfinals. That was, previous to this, her best result. But she just carried so much momentum. She's going to be a force to be reckoned with in El Salvador.
And Carla, talk to me about when two friends meet in a final like that. How special?
Well, I mean, especially when you're traveling together and you spent all this time competing, and oftentimes you see your friend move forward and you're the one that's kind of left back to be the cheerleading or the cheering squad. So the two of you to be able to go together and then have the rest of your team behind both of you, and both Zoe and Elise got chaired up the beach. It's just a really special feeling and something they'll remember forever.
Absolutely, and something that someone's going to remember forever. Of course, Steven Sawyer, he took the win in the men's, but let's have a little look at that men's bracket, because we rounded up those quarterfinals on day 2 under the floodlights, but we kicked off with fantastic semifinals. It was Kaniela Stewart surfing against Steven Sawyer for semifinal number 1, and of course Steven Sawyer took the win, and we moved on to semifinal number 2. John Michael Van Hohenstein beat Kai Salas. Hohenstein took the win, went to the final. Steezy took the win in the final. But talk about Kai Salas' surfing, Matt. It was pretty splendid these last 3 days.
Yeah, he was on suit to take the victory. Obviously, eventually would have had to have come up against Steven Sawyer, but I tell you what, that was just phenomenal surfing from Stevie. Just linking nose to middle to tail, using the whole board, but his tube riding really set him apart.
Absolutely, and talk about that relationship with Jeffreys Bay, Carla, and the fact that he knew this backside line beautifully.
I think he's one of the few surfers that has the local wave that provides that kind of experience, because not many of the surfers live at a wave that like J-Bay where barrels like this.
That wave was incredible. The commitment, the tube riding, the commitment on that last 10 backed it up. He needed the score, Matt. He needed to get something in the 6 range. He answered back with an 8.77 to take the win. But Matt, talk about the fact that he's now qualified for El Salvador. One event win.
It really is a fairy tale story for Steven. The only event of the year. He couldn't make the first 2, and you know what? He didn't need to, because he took the win here and garnered enough points to make the final cut, and we'll see him in El Salvador next week.
We will see him in El Salvador. It's going to be something really special to look forward to. And talking of special, we are going to move on to a fantastic opportunity. We're going to shift to the presentation that is going to kick off with a very, very special performance. So let's find out what's going to be happening down there.
دار زايد دار مدة جوي مايل 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 ديرة أهل الطب وأصحاب الحمية دار زايد دار مدة جوي مايل ديرة أهل الطب وأصحاب الحمية دار زايد دار مدة جوي مايل ديرة أهل الطب وأصحاب الحمية دار زايد دار مدة جوي مايل شيوخنا مدتهم مثل المخايل شيوخنا مدتهم مثل المخايل شيوخنا مدتهم مثل المخايل شيوخنا مدتهم مثل المخايل مثل يود ترتوي بكل فيا شيوخنا مدتهم مثل المخايل مثل يود ترتوي بكل فيا شيوخنا مدتهم مثل المخايل مثل يود ترتوي بكل فيا شيوخنا مدتهم مثل المخايل ويا علم نرف في رؤوس الطوايل ويا علم نرف في رؤوس الطوايل يا علم نرف في رؤوس الطوايل ويا علم نرف في رؤوس الطوايل بالمعز عانق نجوم الثريا ويا علم نرف في رؤوس الطوايل بالمعز عانق نجوم الثريا ويا علم نرف في رؤوس الطوايل بالمعز عانق نجوم الثريا ويا علم نرف في رؤوس الطوايل بالمعز عانق نجوم الثريا يشهد التاريخ ما هو قول قايل.
All right. Welcome to the awards presentation for the 2024 Abu Dhabi Longboard Classic. And thank you to the Alaya Band for their performance and getting this awards presentation going. The Alaya dance is a traditional cultural performance rooted in the heritage of the United Arab Emirates. This dance represents unity, strength, and a deep connection to the land and its history. This is stop number 3 on the WSL Longboard Tour, and the last opportunity for these surfers to qualify for the Surf City El Salvador Longboard Championships. That's coming up in October. This is a historic event. This is the first professional WSL competition hosted here in the UAE, and there was incredible performances across the scale, and look forward to many, many more in this groundbreaking facility. We'd like to extend our gratitude to all of our event partners, Surf Abu Dhabi, that have been tremendous hopes for us, as well as Modon. Everybody give up a hand. I gotta say, the christening of this event at this facility, absolutely amazing. And that's gonna put this place on the map for the globe in surfing. I'd like to introduce, let's give another hand. This is absolutely incredible. Helping me hand out the trophies, Bill O'Regan, the Group CEO of Modon Holdings. Andrew Stark, our WSL APAC President. And Will Hayden Smith, Senior Manager of Regional Tours and for the Longboard Tour. You know, as a surfer, sometimes you come to a place and it's like love at first sight. And the first time I saw a wave break through here, I was in love. So thank you, Bill. I'm going to have a couple of words here from Bill O'Regan from Modon Holdings. Thank you so much for hosting us, Bill.
Hi guys, look, for us this is a really exciting moment. This project started 5 years ago and it was quite a journey to get it here. And we really want to extend our thanks to all of the partners that made it happen. So WSL for bringing the event to Abu Dhabi and showcasing what's possible on the wave. For the partnership with KSWC, who provided the technology and all of the expertise to make the wave happen. We can't forget Kelly Slater, who was the one that came up with the technology in the first place and has been a real super partner to the project. But I also want to thank the Modon team for delivering the project and handing over the keys to the Surf Abu Dhabi team, who oversaw the event here. And I think from the feedback I've gotten that everyone seems to be happy. The last group of people I want to thank, and the most important, are the athletes that have performed here over the last 3 days. For us, our only responsibility was to deliver the wave, but for them it was really to showcase what's possible on it. And we're super excited to see what they were able to do, and super excited for them to come back. We know this was the inaugural event, and we're sure that future events will just get better and better. So a big round of applause for the athletes.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Surf Abu Dhabi. Hey, let's hand out some hardware right now. We got our champs coming through here. First of all, a young man from the South Shore of Oahu, 21 years old. They call him Johnny the Ripper. Johnny Van Hohenstein, welcome. Our men's runner-up. Come out here, Johnny. Johnny, on your way to the World Championships, you're going to be the #2 seed after your performance over here. Your feelings?
I'm feeling, and I never would have thought. I told myself last year, like, I just want to make it to the top 8 and just work hard. And now I'm seeding at #2, and it's insane. I don't know what to say. Speechless.
Congratulations. We're going to see you in El Salvador. Johnny the Ripper. Our women's runner-up came here, had to get it done to qualify for that World Championship. She did that. Let's give it up for Zoe Grospiron, our women's runner-up. Come out here, Zoe. Zoe, talking about performing under pressure, came here below the cut line, your runner-up performance, you're going to be there in El Salvador for a chance at a world title. Your thoughts?
I'm really happy, really stoked, super excited for El Salvador. I got to see my sister. So yeah, I'm super happy and to share the final with Alice and to be around this beautiful surfer, and it was a very good show. So thank you everyone, thank you WSL, thank you Abu Dhabi, and let's go get more.
Let's give it up for Zoe. Now it's time for our men's champ. He only surfed one event this year. He had to win this event to qualify for a chance at a second world title. Congratulations to our winner, our champion from South Africa, Steezy Steven Sawyer. Stevie, the journey had to win, and you just did it.
It was a do or die situation, man. Go big or go home, and I'm not going home anymore. I'm going to El Salvador.
What do you think about this place? This is a surfer's dream. From the wave to all the amenities to hospitality. What do you think about Surf Abu Dhabi?
Okay, driving into this island, I was like, oh my gosh, it feels like I'm driving onto Mars or something, you know? Everything's bigger, better, greater, harder, faster here, and it's just amazing. So to be here and experience the wave and learn it and, you know, have a couple more under the belts, it just felt more comfortable each time. And I mean, this is as good as a contest can get. It's insane. I mean, we've had the best food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We're all staying in the same hotel, so everyone can't run away from each other. Like, the elevator rides have been pretty funky as well. It's so rad. So it just feels like everyone can't like be separated. It's just a whole group, you know. So it's been amazing.
It's one of my favorite stops on tour now too. Steven Sawyer, let's give it up. Our champion. Our women's champ, a 9.43 in the final, outstanding performance. Let's crown our women's champ, Elise Lemoigne. Come on out here, our women's 2024 Abu Dhabi Longboard Classic champion. Alice, come over here. I want to ask you a question. What does this mean to you? I mean, this has been an insane week, insane waves, a lot of pressure. You came out on top.
Yeah, for sure. But the wave is just amazing. I have so much fun, and to share a final with Zoe was insane. And yeah, I just enjoyed to surf the wave, and also I make the sport for El Salvador, so I just want to have fun, and that's it.
Well, it was a good time. Congratulations to our champions. Here's some photo opportunities. And with that, I'm going to send it back to the post-show with Sam Bleakley. Take it away, Sam.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Kipes, and congratulations, of course, Alice and Steven, but also Zoe and Johnny. I mean, incredible performances there. They really did put on a great show. But one of the things about this event was this was the third event of the tour, top two results counting, and those are going to give the opportunity for our 8 surfers to go to El Salvador to go for our 2024 WSL World Longboard Championship.
10 people will requalify as well from the tour, but those top 8 will see them battle it off for that world title. But a phenomenal run. There's some surfers are going to have to surf up to 8 times if they want to take the win.
Well, let's have a look at the women's draw to find out who we're going to be able to look forward to watching in El Sunzal for the Surf City El Salvador Longboard Championships. Seed 8, 7, and 6 will be starting in match 1. Sophia Colhane, Khalees Kiliopala, and Hilolo Bloomfield. The winner will then progress into that match 2 to surf against Natsumi Teioka and Zoe Grospiron. And then the winner of that will surf against Alice Lemoigne, seed number 3 in match 3. The winner of that surfs against Rachel Tilley, seed number 2 in match 4. And then the winner of that goes to surf against our number 1 seed, Soleil Erico, in a best of 3 title match. Carla, what a run. I'm not going to ask you who your money's on, but I'm going to ask you how excited you are to watch these women on that one-day winner-takes-all format.
I'm incredibly excited. I get to see it in person, so that will be phenomenal to watch these women battle it out. And like you said, potentially one of the women may have to surf 8 times if they're in that final bracket there, that final seeding, in order to get all the way to meet up with Soleil Erico.
And Matt, talk about the difference between being a low seed versus a high seed in that tropical, humid climate of El Sunzal with a long paddle at the point break.
That first, the matchups between 6th, 7th, and 8th, that's just that heat alone is almost like a final. And then to have that intensity mentally, physically, the long paddle, the legs, the heat, it's a type of place where the elements can really wear you down. But those surfers are starting to really gather some location knowledge. We've had that at Bells Beach and El Salvador, returning back there. We had it at Malibu, and they'll get it here as well. They'll start building these little this IQ of each spot, and they'll start getting better and better as we've seen. So I look forward to seeing some elevated performances in El Salvador.
And somebody who's earned his stripes for the men, Stephen Sawyer from South Africa, has got the win here to get himself in the top 8. So there are those seeds. Seed number 8 is Chase Leader. We'll be surfing against seed number 7, Stephen Sawyer and Kaniela Stewart in match 1. The winner goes into that 3-surfer match 2 to meet Kai Salas and Ben Skinner. They're seeds number 5 and 4. The winner of that goes into match 3 to surf against JR Esquivel from the Philippines. The winner goes to match 4 to surf against seed number 2, John Michael Van Hohenstein from Hawaii. And then the top seed sitting waiting is Mr. TJ Taylor Jensen, going for his 4th world title in that title match. Best of 3. I could just hear you, Matt, laughing because that is so stacked.
If you get through, if Kaniela is beaten by Stevie or Chase, you go to meet Ben Skinner or Kai Salas, 2 absolute powerhouses. Oh my! And then finishing with TJ.
Well, and then what about JR and John Michael Van Hohenstein?
Well,
Well, you have the youth then right in the middle there, right? To just try to knock the older guys out of the park, right? It's really going to be stacked.
With fresh legs. You think of JR and Johnny, 2 of the fittest guys on the tour.
Well, absolutely. But let me tell you, it's a swell magnet out there in El Salvador, that long velvet right-hand point of El Sunzal. You'll be able to watch the action live on worldsurfleague.com, and it really is a world-class longboard wave. But it is a long paddle, so those multiple heats, surfing more than 3 or 4, maybe 6 heats to take the win, is going to really take its toll on these surfers.
Oh, 100% in that heat. And the temperature of the water, it's going to be really important to maintain your body temp and kind of strategize how you stay in and out of the hot air.
Absolutely. And talking of hot air, it's not all just athleticism and wins and victories. It's a lot of fun. Let's shift on to our top 5, because kicking off, we saw today the party wave of all time, Carla, and this was carnage with a high note.
It was like Malibu, but in the desert.
Have a look at Tucker on the bodyboard here. I'm paddling behind him. He jumps off on the bodyboard with a camera in tow. It was hilarious.
And the cool thing about this is the Cocoa Beach setting, just demonstrating how this facility is open for all. But moving on to number 4, this was when Kai Hamase broke his tail, borrowed a Kai Salas longboard on a left-hander, and got an 8.9 with some incredible surfing, Matt.
Unbelievable. We knew Kai, he's a technician, but to pull this type of surfing out on a borrowed board, he defied belief, and that was truly one of the best moments, I think, of the season.
Well, it was a highlight moment in the men's side happening yesterday afternoon under the floodlights with Kai Hamase from Japan styling for an 8.9. But coming in at number 3, Carla, this was a highlight for us. Khalees Keleopaha, Alice Lemoigne, both dropping scores in the 9s, but Khalees velvet smooth.
Velvety smooth. It was such beautiful surfing to see from her. I don't think she really was rewarded quite as she should have been, but then because we had Elise here battling it back with her, and just fabulous surfing for both ladies.
Khalees dropped to 9.17. Elise dropped to 9.10 for her last left-hander, booked herself a spot in the final, and of course she went on to meet her friend, fellow French surfer Zoe Grospiron in the final, but it was Steven Sawyer, Matt, with his backside tube riding, the Steez Master, getting an 8.77 for this right and taking the win, backed up with this fantastic tube and nose ride on the left.
Well, on the men's side of the draw, we do know the nose riding and the turns were there among all surfers, even from round one, but it was Stevie's tube riding, but his flow, his connection, that really was the difference in the end.
And it was a South African who took the men's win with the El Saluto symbol at the end, getting thrown into the wax cooling pool by Sam Christensen and friends. But for France, Alice Lemoigne took the win, Carla, and what a great achievement for her going into El Salvador.
Oh, she's going to be so happy. She's got that seed. She'll be in, I think, at the 3rd seed, and she's going to be happy with that. She plays so many good nose rides with that hood ornament style, and we're going to see that again in El Salvador.
Fantastic. Congratulations to all the winners. It's been a pleasure as well to have you tuning in. There's been so much brilliant action to watch on the replay. And of course, keep your eyes on the Challenger Series event currently happening in Ericeira in Portugal right now. But shifting back to the thoughts of what we've gone through, Carla, what's been the highlight for you in the last 3 days?
Goodness, there's so many moments that it's hard to really pick out one. I think Stevie Sawyer's barrel riding for me was just choice. I actually really loved what we saw from Johnny the Ripper. I thought his youth and his energy was just really great. And then, of course, the stylistic flow and just beauty of Khalees Keleopa'a.
Matt, highlights for you?
I think it's longboarding is really the winner. It sounds cliche, but honestly, to have it elevated to this stage where all the competitors, even the ones who got knocked out first round, were so stoked, and to be treated like surfing, we don't get this very often. Depending shortboard, longboard, big wave, we don't get this treatment, and the surfers really reveled in it. And I think we'll see an increase in the regional qualifying series for the longboarding, because the kids watching this and the grown-ups watching this, including me, and I'm sure you guys too, would love to put the rash vest on and compete in world-class waves like Bells, El Salvador, and here.
Classic style meets innovation. That's a wrap for the Abu Dhabi Longboard Classic presented by Modon. Tune in for the Surf City El Salvador Longboard Championship very soon.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.